have some methods. What are the methods, turn-on methods available? In the previous class, maybe in second class, we observed that forward voltage triggering, temperature triggering, and then the VVDT triggering, light triggering, gate triggering. So these are the some of the methods are available. Among these methods, we have SCR cannot be controlled by first three methods. That means forward voltage triggering, dV by dt triggering, temperature triggering. Because these are all somewhat unwanted triggerings. We don't prefer to use to turn on these methods. Preferably, we'll use only in the gate triggering. So light triggering will be used for the series operation of SCRs because we observed in the previous class series and parallel operation of SCRs. All SCRs must share equal outputs. So we need to conduct all SCRs in the same time. So for that reason, preferably we will use as a light triggering. So it will take very less time to trigger and accurately it will turn on. That's why that light triggering will be used for that. But other applications in general, gate triggering will be preferred. In the light triggering, that's what I told you. There is some applications like series connected, and gate triggering is most common method. So that is very reliable and high efficient. Um, uh, that is the reason we use only the gate triggering methods. Now we'll see some classifications of triggering methods or firing methods. In general, we have R triggering, then RC triggering. RC triggering again some classification. One is RC half wave triggering, then RC full wave triggering. We'll observe one by one what are the advantages and disadvantages of all these methods. In turn, in general, there is another method is there, UJT triggering. In that we have synchronized UJT or a ramp triggering. But preferably, whatever we are going to discuss these methods, R and RC triggering and all, in general we don't use nowadays. We'll use only microcontroller based all these things. You just imagine what is the need of firing circuit or a triggering circuit. It is very simple logic. When the device want to fire, we need to provide as a gate signal. At what instant we want to provide as a gate signal, it may be 30 degrees or 0 degrees or 60 or 90 or whatever or maybe 120 degrees, we need to provide pulse such a way that the SCR has to be fired whenever we able to provide the gate signal. So how to generate as a gate signal is your question. That is only all these circuits. Is it clear? So very simple way is by using the resistance triggering method, you can able to fire the device at a different instance of time, or you can we have some drawback in that. So then we'll go for as RC triggering. We can overcome some drawback there, and so on. But the thing is, all these things have some their drawbacks. Preferably nowadays, they don't use these type of methods. But why we are discussing this is just for understanding the basic concept of how the firing pulse is going to be generated. Later on, we have many, latest firing circuit strategies they used in practical cases. But this strategy is only to understand what is the logic behind to vary the alpha. If I say firing angle is 90 or a 60 or a 30, how the alpha is going to be varies by varying which knob or which control parameter we need to vary. So all these things we will discuss these type of triggering methods. Now first we'll go with R triggering. One by one we will discuss. So because these are the three methods, R triggering and then RC triggering, then we'll go for as a UJT triggering. So first we'll go with R triggering. Then we'll observe how the firing angle is going to be vary. Then we'll identify what are the drawbacks in it. Then to overcome the drawbacks, we'll go for as a RC triggering and all. So that is our sequence. We'll see first R triggering. This is the simple circuit of a R triggering. What is observation is here, our aim is to fire the device. Which device? Thyristor. So all other component is used to fire the thyristor. So when we have to fire the thyristor? So that is the next question. Depends on our requirement. I want to pass as a firing pulse. That is only the intention here. We require variable position or variable control parameter is required to trigger the SCR, depends upon our requirement. Even though if I want to fire at 10 degrees, it has to fire, or 60 degrees it has to fire, and so on, depends on our requirement. We are means automatically it has to pass the gate signal by varying something. That is only here. Now we can observe this is our main thyristor. To trigger this, we are additionally used this type of additional component, like some R minimum, RV. RV is nothing but a variable resistor, and we used as a diode also, and R minimum is a fixed resistor, and then there is RV is there, so some damping resistor. And by make use of all these components, we need to fire the device or a thyristor. Let it be, we connect something source. So source is a ES something source. So how the device is going to be triggered? So your question is, normally we know in the previous classes, whenever if we pass the gate pulse, it will trigger. That is one way. Otherwise, if we pass voltage across gate and cathode, it will trigger. And third way, we can pass the gate current through gate terminal, it will trigger. So these are the three possible options. All the three are same. In turn, if I pass the voltage across gate and cathode, in turn gate current will pass up to Ig minimum, it will trigger it, like that. So we need to trigger the gate. Instead of giving as a gate pulse, you can pass gate current to trigger the SCR. That is the one option. Otherwise, you can pass or you can connect voltage across gate and cathode. How much voltage we have to apply? Up to VGT. VGT is nothing but a gate triggering voltage. That is a minimum voltage is required to trigger the SCR at gate and cathode. That is a VGT. At any instant, if you apply VGT voltage across gate and cathode, it will trigger. Or if we can able to pass the current pass through the gate Ig minimum, it is also going to be triggered. So these are the things. Now in this case, I am going to explain how current is passing through gate terminal, and the instant it is very blind logic. Whenever gate current reaches to Ig minimum, automatically SCR is going to be triggered. At what instant gate current reaches to Ig minimum, that instant we call it as a firing angle instant. Some cases you can able to, for all the cases I need as Ig minimum, but I want to fire at 30 degrees of time. So you can pass the gate current Ig minimum as to reach at 30 degrees, or I want to fire device at 90 degrees, that current Ig minimum current has to reach at 90 degrees. So that means you are controlling the current pass through the gate through means of the something. That something is here as a resistor. It is very logical thinking. When you are adding as a more resistor, how much time it will take to reach Ig minimum? It will take more time. If you add less resistance, it will take less time to reach the Ig minimum. That is only the variation here, nothing more than that. Like you want to fill some 1 liter of water through tap, you just open tap halfly open, then what will happen? It will take more time to reach that quantity of water. If you fully open, then what will happen? It will take less time to reach the same quantity. Here the quantity is fixed. What is the quantity here? Ig minimum. To reach Ig minimum, how much time it will take, that decided by your control. Your control is a resistor. If I add more resistance value, variable resistor, like in this case is RV, now by means of this resistor, I am going to pass the current, gate current, Ig minimum current with less time or a more time, that will decide. That is only the logic throughout start the operation. So what is our operation? Input supply. Input supply is a ES. That is the input supply we are giving to the circuit. AC supply I am giving. So if input is ES, then what is the nature during positive off cycle? Let's see the during positive off cycle. What will happen when supply is given to the circuit? What are the devices are forward bias at this moment? Anybody? If supply is positive, thyristor is forward bias or not? Thyristor is a forward bias. When thyristor is forward bias, whether thyristor will trigger? Obviously no. Reason is, when the thyristor is forward bias, that alone is not sufficient to trigger the device. We need to pass Ig minimum current. Therefore, the moment supply is given to the thyristor, thyristor is only the forward bias, but it will not conduct. At that instant, your output voltage will be 0 because thyristor is not conducting. Now the same instant, diode is also forward bias. When supply is positive, you can see that thyristor is forward bias, diode also forward bias. When diode is forward bias, what will happen? You can see that current is passing through source, it goes to R minimum, then RV, and it goes to the diode, and then it goes to the gate. This is the way of current passing through that. At moment, I will explain later why I minimum is required. If not, what will happen, and why diode also required. So just after this instant, I will explain that. Now, when supply is given, you can see that current is passing like this. How much current is passing? If supply is gradually increases, automatically current also gradually increases. Once sufficient current reaches, automatically thyristor is going to be triggered. If thyristor is triggered, means that this device is conducting. That means switch is closed. When switch is closed, means it simply as a short circuited. When it is short circuited, what is the output voltage here? Means short circuit means device is closed. So now output voltage is this point. One point is directly connected to the supply. Other point you can see that through thyristor, it is also connected to the supply. Then what is your output? Same as the source voltage. Now when the thyristor is on, output will be same as the source voltage. Now the question is, if I change the RV value, automatically it will take more time to reach Ig minimum. Now you reduce the RV value, it will take less time to reach the Ig minimum. That is only our control purpose. Once it is on, then what will happen? This output is exactly same as the input parameter. Now this is what I can able to draw the output voltage waveform. From this point onwards, this is our output voltage waveform. Once it reaches to the pi or natural 0 and it goes negative, then what will happen? Due to natural commutation, thyristor is going to be open, or commutation takes place. Whenever current pass through that is 0, automatically thyristor will be open. That is the first instant. So now we can see very simple. During positive off cycle, thyristor is forward bias, diode also forward bias. Therefore, current will pass through the R minimum, RV and diode. Once the current is reaches, automatically thyristor will trigger. If thyristor is triggered, then output will be same as the source voltage, and thyristor is going to be turned off at pi, because at pi you observe that voltage is 0 and also current is 0. Therefore, due to natural commutation, thyristor is going to be open. That is what we can observe here. When it is reaches to the point of P at somewhere, and how this varies will explain. So at that point, let assume that gate current reaches Ig minimum, therefore output is exactly same as the input. And now what is the voltage across the device? When the device is on, that's why voltage across the device is 0. And before this alpha instant, before this point, device is off state, only forward bias. That's why voltage across the device same as the source voltage, but output voltage will be 0. This is the one instant. Now the question is, why I used R minimum? If I am not used R minimum, what will happen? Let consider R minimum is not there. Unfortunately, you placed RV is equal to 0 because it is a variable 1. So if it is RV is equal to 0, a minute. Now you can see this point, whenever the device is on, at this instant current is passing. So therefore, once that current is reaches to the minimum current, I am audible, no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now in this point we can observe that first instant I am asking why R minimum is required. If I am not use this R minimum, then what will happen? You can observe that. Let assume that it is 0, and now unfortunately RV also 0. This is 0 because it is a variable 1. By unknowingly you kept that is 0 position, and R minimum I am not at all used. Then what is the current pass through the what we called as gate? Anybody can calculate what is the current? No R minimum. Now RV is 0. What is the current pass through that? Current I is equal to gate current V by R. What is R now? Only small internal junction resistance, that is very small. Therefore current is equal to nearly same as the supply voltage. But gate current is after all as a milliamperes of current only is required to pass the gate. But unfortunately, if I am not used R minimum as well as RV is 0, therefore gate current Ig is equal to, you will get it as the same as this V something Vs divided by R. R is resistance is very small because I am not at all used anywhere in the R. So it is only small junction resistance or some wire resistance only it will be there. Therefore Ig current is equal to the same as the supply voltage. Supply voltage is 230 something, but Ig current is required only milliamperes of current. So huge current is passed through the gate, so the device is going to be damaged. That is the reason I need to provide as a I minimum here to save that gate. So how much value of R minimum I need to place? Let assume RV is still 0, then I have to use as R minimum such a way that gate must be safer region. So what is the safe value of gate current? Only Ig maximum. I cannot apply gate current more than the Ig maximum. So therefore, can you find the resistance now? R minimum is equal to R greater than or equal to, what is the value I have to place? Maximum voltage, how much is available right now? E maximum. because supply peak is E maximum. That is the maximum voltage is available. In the worst condition, that is the voltage. And current, worst condition, what is the current can pass? Ig maximum. Then what is the resistor I have to place? Anybody? R minimum. R minimum is always greater than or equal to E max by Ig maximum. So if I place R minimum like that, so whatever may be maximum voltage you can apply in the source side, or gate current, maximum allowable gate current is a Ig maximum. Therefore, if you place R minimum such a way that your current should not increase beyond your Ig maximum, like that you have to define as a R minimum here. That is the purpose of R minimum. If R minimum is not placed, there is a chance of getting as a high current, gate current. To prevent that one, you make use of a R minimum here. And now you can consider the second case is a diode. Why diode is used? If diode is not placed, what will happen? It is fine for positive half cycle. If the negative half cycle, let consider diode is not there. During negative half cycle, no diode, means I am not at all use diode, then what will happen? During negative half cycle, this one is a minus, this one is a plus. So even though if no diode, so negative current is going to be passed through the gate terminal. That is also problem. You cannot apply the negative gate current. So to prevent negative triggering, you have to use as a diode here. If diode is not used, there is a chance of passing the negative gate current through the thyristor. So that is unwanted. That's why to prevent negative conduction, you can make use of a diode. If diode is there during negative half cycle, diode is a reverse bias. Therefore, it will not allow any current pass through the gate during negative half cycle. Because our device is forward bias only during positive half cycle. Only at that instant you have to pass the gate current. That is the reason I place as a diode. That is the one reason. And now another terminal I used here is a RB, damping resistor. Why damping resistance is used? So you have to connect the resistor such a way that voltage across that resistor must be less than the gate triggering voltage. If I used as RB, is always the voltage across the RB is less than VGT, such a way that you have to connect that. Otherwise, what will happen? If voltage drop across the RB is reaches or greater than VGT, automatically device is going to be triggered. That is unwanted. Triggering is required only whenever the device is need to fire the particular instant of time that decided by the user. Now question is how to increase. That's what these component purpose. Now instead of firing here, I want to fire somewhere here. What I want to do? Because the device is triggered at this point is alpha, no? Let consider it is 30 degrees. Now I want to, I don't want it 30 degrees. I want to increase conduction alpha firing angle is a 90 degrees, or let it be 60 degrees. Then what I want to do the modification in a circuit. What I will do is, you simply vary the RV. You just increase the RV. Initially maybe 10 ohms, let assume that. I got something alpha is 30 degrees. Later you increase that RV 10 to 20 volts. Then what will happen? If I increase RV is 20 ohms, then what will happen? To reach Ig minimum, we required more source voltage, because current I is equal to V by R, no? Denominator is more. To reach Ig is very simple logic here, nothing is there. Ig minimum I need, this Ig minimum value is fixed one, and now supply divided by resistance. And what is first instant? Resistance is 10 ohm. So this Ig minimum is something, let it be 2 milliamperes of current is required. So to multiply these two, we will get what is the voltage is required to trigger that. That voltage, if the source is reaches to that voltage, device will trigger. Now later I changes to 20 ohms, but still Ig minimum is fixed 2 milliampere. You just multiply this, automatically required voltage is going to be changed. So the required voltage instead of here, you may get somewhere here. Then at that instant device is going to be triggered like that. It is very simple logic. Change the RV value so that it will require more voltage of the supply to get Ig minimum. So more voltage means later time of supply. Later time is nothing but a x-axis. So x-axis varies means that our alpha is varies, so that conduction interval will be less, your output is going to be decreases. And once it reaches to the pi, the device is reverse bias, output voltage will be 0 and voltage across the device same as the source voltage. Source voltage is negative here, exactly same. How long? Up to next instant device is going to be trigger, up to the device is open state, therefore output voltage will be 0 and voltage across the device same as the source voltage. So this is the way we are able to trigger it. Then what is the drawback is here, you can see that if you increase the RV value is a very large value, then what will happen? High large value of RV if I use, sometimes the device will never trigger, because large value of RV, it is allowing current is very less, therefore it will require more voltage, but voltage maximum I can have is only E maximum, beyond that it is not available, therefore that much voltage is not available, or current is very less, it will take large time, so only maximum voltage is available, E maximum, later that again the voltage is decreases, this voltage is further decreases beyond this point of time, therefore SCR will never trigger. That is what the problem. And that one more problem is it is going to be conduct the instant only 0 to 90 degrees. The reason is 0 to 90 degrees voltage values is repeated from 90 to 180 degrees sine wave. 0 to 90, this is the voltage. If I place higher value of RV, voltage is not sufficient, later point of time also same voltage will be appear, therefore insufficient voltage the device will not trigger. That is the another drawback. One drawback is the control is based on your resistor, so you are using as a resistor to control the voltage, that is a power dissipation is going to be takes place. Another drawback is control range is 0 to 90 only, we are not able to control the output beyond 90 degrees, but according to our requirement firing angle range is 0 to 180 degrees, but here this resistance triggering method if I use, you can able to control your output only 0 to 90 degrees. Beyond 90 degrees the voltage values repeated same as 0 to 90 degrees voltages. That's why if 0 to 90 voltage is insufficient to trigger, so after 90 to 180 voltage also the same, that's why the control will not conduct, means the SCR will not trigger. So these are the problems we can able to overcome this problem, we will go for as a RC triggering. So this is the slight what we called as theory part also I given, and some more graphs you can see that voltage, if the VGT voltage is this much voltage is required to trigger the SCR, but if I give the gate pulse is less than the VGT, therefore SCR will never trigger. And then now if you pass the gate voltage up to the VGT, at that instant is reaches, automatically SCR will trigger and conduction is going to be takes place. This is the voltage and current waveform and voltage waveform exactly same, because it is a resistive load I used here, and voltage and current are in phase, therefore magnitudes only different and wave shape will be the same, and voltage across the device just reverse of the output voltage. Reverse means an output voltage is 0, voltage across the device is same as the source, and output voltage is present and voltage across the device is 0. So with this logic you can able to draw the VT also. And now if I give the VGT is more than, pulse is more than the VGT also, whenever it reaches Ig minimum it will start triggering. So this is what output voltage will be takes place. All these things are not required to explain in exam, just for understanding I shown many waveforms, but in your exam only this slide is sufficient. Circuit as well as this waveform. This is alpha is less than 90 degrees. Exactly 90 also if you want you can draw it. This is the red shape whatever I am drawing, this is the output voltage waveform. and voltage will be up to this, and this will be 0. That is only the different if you want to use exactly 90 degrees. These are the something just for understanding, and I given some theory part also. Just slightly I will recall that. You can see that gate pulse to trigger the SCR, gate current is supplied to AC supply through RV and the diodes. So that is what the current is passing through that. So now if ES means supply voltage goes positive, then what will happen? SCR is forward bias but not trigger. Whatever I explained, same thing I wrote here. It will be forward bias but not trigger. Therefore output voltage will be 0. How long output voltage will be 0? Until gate current reaches to IG minimum. Until that, the device will be off state only. Now we can see that if ES is increasing gradually, gate cathode junction is current also gradually increases because it is allowing current pass through the gate. And now gate current is increases as ES increases towards the peak value. Once it reaches to IG minimum, automatically the SCR is going to be triggered. So then SCR is on, output voltage is equal to same as the source voltage, and then how long it will be conducting until current pass through the device is reaches to the 0 or below the holding current. That will be occur only at TS is equal to 0. That's what at pi, 2 pi, 3 pi and so on, every instant the current is going to be 0. Now SCR is going to be turn off once ES is equal to 0 because the negative supply SCR remains in the off state only because the SCR is reverse bias, it won't conduct. So since SCR is now open circuited, load voltage also will be 0, but voltage across the device same as the source voltage. That's now, so the purpose of diode I already explained, to prevent that gate cathode reverse bias condition current. So to prevent that reason, negative half cycle, you should not allow any current. For that reason I used as a the diode. And when you are choosing the diode also, you take care of that peak reverse voltage must be greater than the whatever maximum voltage is available there. E maximum is the maximum voltage. So that is one of the condition while you are selecting as a what you called as diode. And next one is again positive half cycle, cycle is going to be repeated. Same sequence will be repeated, again ES is going to be positive. So load voltage waveform, everything I shown there, and if you vary the RV value, automatically our load voltage is going to be vary. The instant at which it reaches IG minimum is going to be vary. You can able to get our waveforms with refer to the RV value. So these are all theory part whatever I given, and it should not be beyond IG maximum also. So until it, if RV is large, I already mentioned previously, if RV is made large, so it never reaches to IG minimum, therefore the SCR remains in the off state. That is another problem. I told already what is the selection of RV value should be greater than E maximum by IG maximum. And then another one I mentioned as a damping resistance, that voltage drop is always less than the what we called as VGT. So to use that according to circuit, you can able to use this equation. RV value is always less than this value. So another one is supply voltage. Supply voltage is equal to IG. Current is passing through that through RV and R minimum plus some drop across the diode and VG minimum. So using this, you can able to write the ES equation also. And disadvantages I already mentioned. So alpha is purely depends upon the resistor. Once vary the resistor. Hello.
Sir, what happens if we won't?
Pardon?
What happens if we won't use damping resistor?
Yeah, but the only thing is to protection. So gate also we need some protection, no? So gate to cathode you have to connect. If you are not using RB, there is no connection between the gate and cathode. So that is the reason we are using as a RB. But that should be provided such a way that the drop must be minimum. If the drop is reaches to something beyond the breakover voltage, that is actually only protection purpose. But if the resistance is used across that resistance drop is more than VGT, unwanted triggering is going to be takes place. So that is the reason we placed as a RB is less than the that formula. So because some voltage drops will be takes place because of the resistor.
Is it clear? So this is the alpha
If
will.
we won't use damping resistance, we won't get any voltage drop across the gate and cathode.
But our
So there
purpose.
is no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, yeah. But our purpose is not to prevent the VGT value is less than that. Our purpose is only for protect the device we are using. But suppose high current is passing, some of the current, if resistor is there, it won't allow the pass through the high current. That is the reason we are using. But when we are anyhow we are using for the protection purpose, if you are not providing the precaution, there is a chance of getting as a voltage across that resistance beyond the VGT. So our purpose is not to prevent the VGT value. Our purpose is to protect the device. But instead of using that, but while you are using that, you have to take care of that VGT. The drop should not be more than the VGT. That is only the reason. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So that is one point. Alpha is greater than, I mean, purely depends upon the IG minimum. And in turn, to reach IG minimum, in turn, it depends on what? Again, resistor. That is another problem. The resistor means power dissipation is going to be takes place. That is one problem. Another problem, you can see that triggering is approximately reaches to only the 90. Beyond 90, the voltage value is same as the supply previous values only. Therefore, if you use large resistor value, you need more voltage according to formula. That voltage is not available after 90 degrees because below 90 degrees value is only repeated for the sine wave. So that is the reason. Another drawback is we can able to control 0 to 90. It is a major problem. Some cases in exam they may ask that explain the triggering circuit to control 0 to 90 degrees only. Instead of saying R triggering, they mention control circuit is 0 to 90 degrees. So that we can use as a R triggering. And that's what the load voltage waveform can be varied only 0 to 90 degrees. This is our drawback of this. And to overcome this, we will go for as RC triggering. What RC triggering will do is you can able to control 0 to 180 degrees. So that we will see that next case. And we'll before going to that RC, we'll see some of the problems. These are the data is given R triggering circuit, and IG minimum is given, IG maximum is given, VG minimum is given, VG maximum is given. So SCR is using this data, and we need to find what is the value of resistance we have to find, design the R value. So this is the R triggering circuit. So we have to find some are you hearing? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
My screen is visible, no?
Yes, sir.
So now we'll see this R value. There is a here R is nothing but what damping resistor, because some books they represented circuit is different. This circuit also R triggering circuit only. In previous circuit I used RB damping resistor. Now you can use as a here is R anything, because here I used as R minimum and here is RV I used. If what you call as MD Singh they used the previous notation, and PS Bimra used this notation. Any notation is same, but our circuit is same because in exam also they may be use different circuit. You just observe what is happening. Now R we need to find that based on your formula. You can just substitute here. VG maximum is given, R1 is given, and V maximum is nothing but Vs into root 2, and VG maximum is 1.5 is given. Just substitute, we'll get it as a damping resistor value here. And another one is R2. R2 is nothing but a variable resistance or RV. So using that relation, you can see that resistance relation will be VG maximum by Vm minus VG minimum is equal to R by R1 plus R2. So from this, you can easily get it what is the R2 value. To find R2, you can use this relation, just substitutions only. Therefore, R2 is nothing but a variable resistor. To get this data, when the system is operating this data, what is the value of RV I have to use? So now you will get it as 3.37 kilo ohm resistor, but a standard resistor, only some rating of resistors are available. Instead of using 3.3, we can use 4.7 kilo ohm because this is the available resistor. Exact 3.3 kilo ohm resistors are not available. So approximate value of resistor 4.7 you can use it. And another problem, you can see I given some problems here. In a resistance firing circuit, the following parameters are given, that is a Ig minimum, and then Vg minimum is given, supply voltage is given, and then resistance in a current path is some 70 ohms are given. Find the firing angle of the, now what the question is, if this is the resistance I placed, what is the alpha I will get it, and at what instant SCR is going to be trigger, that is one question. So what is the resistance for which firing angle of 90 degrees? The question, two questions here. One question is, if I place the resistance is 70 kilo ohms, at what instant, means you need to find alpha, means this instant it is going to be trigger, you have to find, because I already fixed the resistance. The next question is, I want to fire the device at 90 degrees. Now alpha is given, 90 degrees value is given, but it has to know at what is the value of resistor I have to place to trigger as a 90. 70 kilo ohm, what is the alpha you have to find. Now if alpha is 90, what is the resistance? Just reverse of this. So for this same circuit, supply voltage ES is equal to Ig into R1 plus R2, voltage drop across the diode, and Vg, and simply this data is given. Voltage drop across the diode, you just take it as a 0.6, and now you will get it as a supply voltage. But what is the supply voltage? V is nothing but a Vm sin omega t. So therefore Vm is root 2 into Vs, peak voltage. So peak voltage is given in problem. So omega t is nothing but a alpha here. Therefore alpha is equal to this divided by root 2 into sin omega t. I mean sin alpha is equal to sin inverse of that. So you will get it as a alpha value. So 32.3 degrees. If I place something R is equal to 70 kilo ohm, the device is going to be trigger at 32.3 degrees. But the next question is just reverse. Now I know what is the alpha. Alpha is 90 degrees. What is the value of resistor I have to place to trigger at 90 degrees? That is another same formula, procedure, everything is same, but R is unknown parameter here. Earlier is R is known, I substituted. Simply you can find what is the R value. Now you can see that if R is 133 kilo ohm, if your alpha will get it as a 90 degrees. That is only the reason. Just previous of 70 degrees, we got it as a something 36, 70 kilo ohms. We got alpha is something 36 or something. Now to get more alpha, what is preferable option? I have to increase the resistance value. If I increase the resistance, current pass through the device will be less. It will take more time to reach the Ig minimum. So that's what 90 degrees. So automatically our logic also verified here. For 70 kilo ohm will get 36 something, but now if you apply 133 kilo ohm, you are getting more alpha, that is a 90 degrees. So that is the procedure. You can see still some more problems. You refer books. I given lot of textbooks in your LMS server. You just glance once. And now we'll see the RC half wave triggering. In RC half wave triggering, this is your circuit. What is the difference is, I connect one capacitor, nothing more than that. So I used as a capacitor. Earlier I am not used the capacitor, only resistor I used. If I use the capacitor, what will happen? See, first step is capacitor has to be charged. How to charge the capacitor? Anybody, at what instant capacitor will charge? During first our requirement, based on our requirement, charge the capacitor initially. Lower plate is plus, upper plate must be minus, such a way that I have to charge. Then now tell me, at what instant capacitor will charge with this polarities? Whether it is during positive half cycle or during negative half cycle. Anybody? Anybody? How to charge the capacitor? During negative half cycle, we can see that this is a minus, this is a plus. Now current is passing like this, and then it goes like this, because we can see that why I placed the polarities like this. During negative half cycle, diode D2 is a forward bias. During positive half cycle, diode D2 is a reverse bias. So you make use of diode D2, capacitor is going to be charged. So from neutral, let it be AC supply, from neutral it goes to the capacitor and then it goes to the diode. Now why it will not pass through RV? Why it is going to D2? Any analysis? See, try to understand how the current is passing through. If you know that logic, that's all, nothing is there. Why current is passing through D2? Why not RV? Anybody answered me? No answer?
Forward. I see.
You just see that circuit. Circuit is available. Think even if it is wrong also, no issue, no? What is there to understand how the circuit operation? Because it is all small circuit. Later it may get little bit bigger circuits. That logic you must know. Negative half cycle I am telling. So this is minus, this is plus. Now current is passing through capacitor, not pass through the resistor, it goes to diode. Why not it is passing through resistor? That is my question.
Current pass low resistance pass.
Then how can you say that RV is high resistance? You may be placed that something is a less value also, no? Because it is a variable, no? Very simple here. Diode is forward bias, no? If diode is forward bias, it is short circuited. Is it clear I am telling?
Yes, sir.
Diode is forward bias means diode is already conducting state. So across that resistor it is a short. So therefore automatically current has to pass through this only. It is already conducting, so it is very less because short circuit, no? So that voltage is 0. So it is allowing current pass through the diode rather than the thyristor. Rather than the RV. RV is shorted now because RV is shorted. So that is the reason it is passing through the diode only. Diode is already conducting state. So that is the reason current is passing through the diode. Then what will happen? How long capacitor will charge? Anybody? Some basic information you must know, then later it will be easy. So how long it will charge? Up to?
A positive half cycle, sir.
Yes, up to V maximum minus V maximum with refer to upper plate. With refer to lower plate plus V maximum, because whatever notation in general upper is negative, no? That's why Y minus V maximum. Very simple. Current pass through the capacitor is gradually decreases when voltage across that reaches to the increasing order, or reversely I can say that voltage across the capacitor is 0. It will allow more current pass through the capacitor. Once voltage across the capacitor reaches to the rated, then current pass through the capacitor is 0. That is the logic. Now what will happen? Initially no voltage, so it is allowing more current pass through the capacitor. Then what will happen? Capacitor is charging. Once it is completely charged with what voltage? Same as source voltage, because we connected the capacitor through source only, no? Diode is on, D2 is on. Therefore, upper plate is connected to the phase, lower plate is connected to the neutral. Therefore, what is the voltage across the capacitor? Same as the source voltage now. Is it clear? Once it reaches to the minus V maximum, so diode D2 will be off. Why? Why diode D2 will off? Anybody?
Reverse bias.
Because capacitor is fully charged, it won't allow any current pass through the capacitor. Therefore, current pass through the diode also 0. And from there onwards, once it reaches to the pi, after end of the negative half cycle, again it reaches to positive, no? That's why it is reverse bias. Before that, no current pass through the diode D2. Therefore, diode is going to be turn off. So that is the first step. Is it clear? First step is just to charge the capacitor. Lower plate is plus, upper plate is minus. Using diode D2 during negative off cycle. Over. The next, you can see that what is happening is this point I explained so far. During negative off cycle, capacitor is charged, so it reaches to the V maximum, minus V maximum, and remains minus V maximum, because until if you get a discharging path, capacitor maintain the same voltage. Now, during positive off cycle, what will happen? Anybody know? Negative off cycle is over. During positive off cycle, what will happen?
Sir, the charge of capacitor will conduct the D1, sir.
D1 will not conduct instant. Reason is upper plate is negative. Negative is connected to anode. So D1 is reverse bias the moment positive off cycle. But later it will conduct. How? So what will happen during positive off cycle starting instant?
The capacitor charge will discharge, sir.
Yes, that is the point. How? What is the discharging path, or in turn it is charging in the reverse direction. Now the current pass through like this. See that? Supply, it goes to load, and then it goes to RV, and then it goes to the capacitor C minus, C plus, and goes to the source. This is the path now during positive off cycle. Very simple. Capacitor is always trying to charge and discharge. If no path for discharge, it remains in the same position. Whatever magnitude is there, that remains in the same. But now we can observe the instant. Now the capacitor is going to be charged in the reverse direction. Earlier it is a minus V maximum. So our negatives are there. So whenever if it is reaches to the negative minus V maximum, just a minute. So now we'll see that the capacitor already we having minus. Now what it will do? It has to charge to positive. Then only you are able to fire the D1. Otherwise, minus is connected to the anode. Therefore, it will not trigger. So that is the reason. What it will do is capacitor is going to be charged. So through we can observe that RV resistor. Now what is the time constant of capacitor now? Tau is equal to RC. Now negative, you are pouring some positive, then what will happen? That negative becomes 0. You cannot get directly to positive. So negative minus V maximum, you are adding some positives, therefore the minus quantity is decreases, and some point of time it will reaches to the 0, and then it will become as a VGT, means positive. So you know one logic, once voltage across the gate and cathode reaches to VGT, automatically SCR is going to be triggered. Is it clear? So that is the instant we are waiting. So the waiting because of that RV. Tau is equal to RV into C. Time constant, that I can write RV into C. Now C is fixed value. Now you are changing the RV value. If RV value is less, let us assume that RV is less, what will happen? To reach VGT, it will take less time, because charging, what we call it as, in the reverse charging, it will take less time. It reaches to 0 and become as a VGT. If RV value is a less. If RV value is large, then what will happen? Time constant is more. To get VGT, we require more time. So that time we call it as a, we can observe that this is the alpha. So that means based on your RV, every negative off cycle, it will charge minus V maximum, and then you decide RV value so that it will charge from minus V maximum to plus, and then it reaches to VGT. How much time it will take, that decided by the RV. So you tune the RV such a way that automatically at what instant you are going to trigger the device, you can able to control. Now I will show the other graphs. In this graphs, we can observe that one instant is RV is very high. If R resistor is high, then what will happen? See that minus V maximum, and then it reaches to the dotted line is VGT. It reaches to VGT, it will take more time. Then your output will be this much, because up to that instant device is not triggered. Once device is triggered, your output is same as the source voltage. Then again, during negative half cycle, capacitor is the dotted line capacitor is going to be charged. Again same alpha, it will get it. So because I used as RV is very large, large means time constant, it will take this much time to reach VGT. Later RV is low. You can see that if R is low, then what will happen? Say minus V maximum, to reach this R VGT is lesser time, because R is less, it will allow more current, faster rate. So therefore it will trigger at less value of alpha. With this way you can able to control this circuit. You can use it less than alpha, greater than alpha. So I mean 90 degrees concept here. So alpha is less than 90. This is the waveform, because it is controlling up to 180 degrees. This is alpha is something greater than 90 degrees. You can use like this. So this fashion you can able to explain this. These are all empirical relation, no proof for this. Just later also they given some empirical relation. This is half wave triggering. But what is the drawback in this? One drawback is during negative half cycle I am unable to control still. Same R triggering also same problem, RC triggering also same problem. During negative half cycle we are unable to control the output voltage. So then if I make it all inputs in positive, then we can able to control during negative half cycle also. How to do that? AC supply is positive and negative. I have to make it everything in the positive half cycle. Then what I have to use? Anybody? How to make it all AC supply to positive half cycles? Any answer? Very simple here, diode rectifier. If I use diode rectifier, what will happen? All pulsating DC will get. No, even though supply is AC, but your after a DC, I mean after a diode rectifier, you will get everything is positive. If everything is positive, automatically you can able to control it. So that is the full wave RC triggering. You can see that very simple. What I want to do is you make it. This is a positive. So at VD input is AC supply. You can see that input is AC. Then use the diode rectifier. Positive half cycle D1 D2 will conduct. Then output will be same as the source. This will get it. During negative half cycle D3 D4 will conduct. Then output also will become as a source. This is our diode rectifier output. So now this point we are connecting as a rest of the circuit. Then what will happen? You can observe that again you will start with charging. Now we don't require to charge minus V maximum and then reaches to 0 and then become as a VGT. So what we need is you try it directly as a positive. From 0 you try to charge it, then it reaches to VGT. Once the point is reaches to VGT, the triggering is going to be takes place. Now here is a pulse. So this pulse is given to the SCR, then a SCR will is going to be conduct. So like that you change again R value here, automatically somewhere it will get this point also output, because R is less, you will get it as a pulse will be like this. At this instant it will conduct, then output will be up to this point. So like that in every positive half cycle as well as the negative half cycle, this is the point, it will get this, and here will be 0, no device will trigger, and again it will conduct. So like that you can able to control. So now we can see this. This is the output voltage. If I fire alpha value, I mean R value is little bit large. If R value is reduces, again this pulse will get it somewhere here, because it will reach less time to trigger it. So with that you can able to, now you overcome the drawback of 0 to 90 and negative half cycle, everything is overcome. This is the way you are able to control the RC full wave triggering. Then voltage across the device just reverse. Here is 0, you will get same as source, and here is conducting, output will be 0. One thing you remember, maximum cases output is present, voltage across the device will be 0. If output is 0, voltage across the device same as the source voltage. With this logic you can able to get it. For low value of RV, same thing, just I explained previously. If I use R value is large, then what is happened? alpha will be large. And similarly, if I use low R value, so less time to take reaches as a VGT. So therefore, output voltage we are getting as a more voltage. So we are able to control R such a way that you can able to control the alpha value. So now in our lab also we have knobs is there. In turn there is a resistor variation. By changing that knob, you can able to control the alpha value. You will able to see these experiments in lab also. Even for controllers also we require to change the alpha, that we can observe by make use of variation of the alpha. These some empirical relations are given. So how to design that capacitor value, R value, using this switching frequency, all these things. So no proof for this, just they use trial and error. They given some empirical relations. And now we'll see the use it and all. We'll see the next class use it anyhow time over. You have any doubt, you ask me.